Blueprints is unconventional. That's probably the headline here. As Blue Sky and indeed the larger discourse sphere at large has been finding out, Blueprints can't be neatly packed into the boxes of genre or, oh, it's like this other game. I also don't think the whole, hey, psst, hey dude, just play it blind, okay? Yeah, just go in knowing nothing about it, okay? What could go wrong? Is that appropriate either? The game might not be for you, and not in a patronising, oh, you just don't get it way, as the phrase is usually used, but like, the game itself is not the all-singing, all-dancing poster child for 2025 that you might have heard. It has problems, flaws, confusing design decisions that some people might be able to excuse or even revel in, while others, understandably, might not want to deal with. You need to know what you're getting into with this one. Premise first. You're this guy and you've inherited a rather esoteric mansion from your great-uncle. However, he's not keen on raising a nepo baby. If you want the keys to the castle, you're gonna have to prove yourself. There are 45 ever-shifting rooms in this mansion. If you can find the 46th, it's all yours. How does this play out in practice? Well, okay, you're not gonna believe this, but Blueprints is a roguelike deck builder. I know, I'm sorry, okay, please just focus for a little bit, stay calm, we'll clear this up. You start out here and your destination, as far as you know, is here. You approach any door you like and draft from a selection of 3 different rooms. Look, there's a cupboard here, there's a billiards room there, you can even have a boudoir if you want. Mine's got 3 apples in it, I bet yours hasn't. The friction comes from several fronts. First of all, Simon, that's the aforementioned guy by the way, is not about that Peloton life. He starts each run with a mere 50 steps, effectively representing 50 traversals between rooms before he gets so tired he has to call it a day and try again tomorrow. There's also a handful of resources to juggle. Occasionally, though more frequently as you progress, you'll run into locked doors that need keys to open. There are also certain rooms which are so good, so powerful, so meta, so OP, that you need to pay a toll of gems before you can enter. You can also pay for stuff with gold. That's fun to do. It's important that you keep a good stock of these resources on you at all times, lest you build yourself into a dead end. Speaking of which, you can build yourself into a dead end. I find this really weird, not like in a bad way, but in a way that you often don't see with video games. These rooms have a set number of entrances and exits. You can, and will, box yourself in, either through your own ineptitude or by the slow march of diminishing resources. The most common failure state in Blueprints is essentially a soft lock. Even the closest analogue to a health bar, the step count, doesn't really act as one. It's more of a limiting factor to stop the player from turning their routes throughout the manor into boring, optimized crawls. It's very rare to see the game over screen in Blueprints. Instead, it's a slow, creeping threat that you make for yourself. If there's one word I wouldn't use to describe Blueprints, it would be elegant. Only because it's so unconventional, we're essentially in uncharted waters. While most roguelikes have the 2 pillars of execution and decision-making, Blueprints, unless you count simple mathematics and logic puzzles as execution, does pirouettes on top of the pillar of decisions. Yet it still magically, miraculously works because of the variety of the decision-making. It's almost akin to a settlement builder. There's the macro of trying to reach the end of the house, the managing of your pool of resources, combined with the micro of your immediate needs and movement. You're never more than a few minutes away from making a decision. This is great. Blueprints is great. The developer has managed to make something truly novel here. I don't think I've seen anyone expressing genre fatigue of any kind, because this game is unique, and for the most part, it does work. The decision-making is crunchy, and it's satisfying ending a run with an almost fully built house. Ending a run. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a secret. This game is not actually a roguelike deck builder. Okay, I know I've done this before, but what I mean is this game isn't a roguelike deck builder in the same way that Inscription isn't a roguelike deck builder, or that Mirror's Edge isn't a first-person shooter. Sure, you could put any of these labels on their respective boxes, but you're not doing anyone any favours if you do. There is a roguelike deck builder in Blueprints, but that's not what it's all about. Instead, Blueprints is more of an adventure game, or a Brainvania, or a Metroidvania, whatever it is we're calling these games now. Games like Animal Well, Tunic, Fez, Rez, Kez, where there are several mysteries buried deep within whatever genre the game is purporting itself as. You know the ones, right? Getting to room 46 is not simply making it to the end of the mansion. In fact, the process is quite heavily involved, I won't spoil it here. It's so involved, the game encourages you to take notes, and so do I. I did it on this envelope. There's mystery after mystery to uncover, and if you're a fan of that, then you'll be in for a pretty good time. But this leads to what is probably the biggest flaw with Blueprints. While the roguelike deck builder is engaging enough and the mysteries are fine, these are two chemicals that mix violently. It's too open-ended and random to work. Like a certain other game that we won't talk about, solving the mysteries of Blueprints is less of an exercise in logical thinking and more of an exercise in frustration. There's stuff that I know that I can do in Blueprints right now as I'm recording this after the credits have rolled, but probably won't bother with because it needs all of the stars being aligned at the same time. If a roguelike is about being able to deal with the hand that you're dealt, if it's about taming the rapid river of randomness into a manageable stream, then this is functionally at odds with its very specific mysteries that often require a very specific combination of rooms and items. If you stumble upon a broken lever in one run and then a slot for said lever in another, then the difficulty isn't in making that connection between both, it's getting both to appear in the same run. You might not draft the greenhouse and you might not find the lever. Even worse is that there are no conventional runs in Blueprints. That is to say, the victory state is defined by the credits rolling. Winning a day and winning the game is effectively the same thing, so there's nothing else to really go for. By the time you do a sweep of each room, you've got a rough half-dozen threads to keep in mind, and it's difficult to switch tracks and pivot your run. If you're going after one mystery, you kind of have to commit to it. The roguelike elements of Blueprints, while enticing on their own, get in the way of all of this. You have to fight it at every turn. It's a hard game, sure, yes, you can and do get better at the art of room placement, but beyond a certain point, I got a bit fed up with it all. I can't help but feel a little injection of that Hades roguelite magic would have been welcome here. Perhaps certain items should have carried over between runs, or maybe there should be a way to farm upgrade discs, or maybe some kind of leveling system. I don't know, that one's probably a bad idea. There are ways to make your run permanently better, some major and others just a helping hand. Most of them found very early on, and none of them really to the point where it breaks the game in the same way that you can when you eventually breeze through the underworld. I never felt like I was on that one godly run that I get in other roguelikes. What ultimately results is a game where its mechanics are engaging and its mysteries are captivating, but together they mix to create a gloopy layer of sludge. Everything in Blueprints takes forever. Most of your time is spent cursing the game's random generation, while the moments of levity are as brief as they are sweet. Despite all of this, I can't bring myself to say that I dislike Blueprints or that I think it's a bad game. Not because I'm a coward, but because, despite its flaws, I've still really enjoyed my time with it, and I can't fault it for trying the things it tries. I think it's good. I want more games like it, not in the sense that I want to build 13 more houses, but I want 13 more games that have unapologetic, frustrating designs. I want more games to say, no, this is just how it is. This isn't a traditional roguelike, this isn't a traditional video game. I want games that actually give me something interesting to talk about. Goodness, it's been so long since I played a game that I really want to talk about, rough edges and all. Hello, by the way. I can't recommend it to everyone, and there really is no shame in ducking out on it. I think it's important to know what you like, and if you watch this and you know that you won't like Blueprints, then that's absolutely fine. That's good, even. But here's hoping that at least a few of you out there are able to look past this frustrating mess of a game and see something that's beautiful. Hello, it's me. Thank you for watching. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe in this hellscape of a world. Yeah, I don't actually have anything else to say in this bit. What do you think of Blueprints? Let me know. I kind of like it, actually. While recording footage, I was thinking, like, yeah, this game's fun. I could probably play some more of this. I guess slight spoilers. I've tried to avoid spoilers throughout this video, but I guess slight spoilers. In terms of like room names and things like that. I got a boiler room next to the pump room on the new save that I made while recording this video. So now that's no longer the new save, that's the main save now, okay? because it never happened to me in like the 27 days that I did on my actual save. It's just typical. I like write an entire video where I complain about the game's RNG, and then literally while I'm recording, it happens. So yeah, don't give up. Get that boiler room next to the pump room, and all of your dreams will come true. That's the lesson you should take away from today. That's it. Take care. Goodbye.